Hey there, hi there, ho there. We're as happy as can be, Eddie. Bobby.
Bobby.
Bob.
Bob. Roberto.
Weren't you Bobby at one time?
I was Bobby.
Bobby?
A lot of people know me as Bobby.
Bobby.
Yep.
And Julio back with 3-Ball Walk,
Bobby.
another day, another session in front of a
Live
live
audience.
studio audience.
Hi, live studio audience. Well
It's
done.
good to have you.
Well done.
And a lot happening in baseball. We've had, you guys wanted to talk about it. To be honest with you, I could care less to talk about it, but since you do, I'll throw in my 2 cents worth.
About what?
Matt Harvey.
Matt Harvey?
Matt Harvey. I mean, what's he thinking about? I know it's not down the stretch for playoff time, but my question for somebody who worked in the majors for as long as you did, and someone who played a high level of baseball like you did, while everybody wants to look at baseball as a team game, you break it down as an individual game, because if you're not good enough, you're not going to have a team.
All professional sports now
are
more
individual.
Or individual games within a team
But
competition.
How does his team react when he goes out and gets hammered and plays golf and then doesn't make the game? I mean, how's that help the team chemistry?
Has that been confirmed? That story?
He said
That was his apology.
His apology.
His apology was he got hammered?
Yeah, his girlfriend. His
had a hangover.
girlfriend was seen with her ex-boyfriend at some party.
She's
She's a
some model.
model. She's a model. If you know, let us know. I can't remember
A
her name.
Victoria's Secret model.
Yeah, very pretty and
basically told him, which is what guys do, basically told him, look, I'm just using you, but there's no long-term relationship coming here. We just should have fun together.
That's what she told him?
That's what she told him. And he kind of got a little upset and went out. And
that was after Bible class, right? As soon as Bible class was over, it's like
He went out on a binger?
He just went out on
Friday
a bender
night?
because he was depressed.
yeah, he just nailed it. That's a 4 in the
Because
morning.
she kind of dumped. She didn't dump him, but she kind of said there's not going to be a.
And she went to a party with her ex-boyfriend, who was a New England Patriot. I can't remember. I don't have all that written down.
Edelman.
Yeah, Julian Edelman, right. Yeah.
And so he got dumped. Didn't really get dumped, but said, let's just have fun.
Let's just have fun.
And he's a baseball guy, right?
And he wanted a relationship.
He's a baseball guy, right?
Yeah.
That would be it. That would be
That's
unusual.
what I'm saying. It's completely turned the table.
That would be unusual.
So he went out, got a little drunk, was hungover the next day, and didn't make it. But you know what? And I'll tell you.
All right. So if that's the case, why did he come up with this lame excuse that I had a migraine? Why didn't he just come to the ballpark the next day and say, "All right, guys, this is what happened"?
I'm hungover.
How many guys in the clubhouse would have gone, "Hey, we got you"?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, did you hear the Mets broadcast? Because he had pitched today. He wasn't scheduled to pitch. All he was going to do is
just show up.
Just show up.
And he said the Mets have gotten so bad that you can't even pay people to come watch them anymore.
No. See, the PR thing hurts worse than the actual not showing up.
But
still.
here's the whole point and I'll tell you, it's New York. If he's not Matt Harvey playing for the New York Mets, it's swept up. I mean, no.
Yeah, it's
and
handled
imagine
now.
if he was a football player. Holy smokes, they'd start a new TV show about it to discuss.
You would have this idea. I mean, I get it. Okay, so you didn't show up, so you're going to get fined. Something's going to happen. But really, I mean, come on. This is not a story that probably doesn't play out 10 or 15 times with pitchers that don't show up when they're supposed to show up.
And here's the whole point.
He makes the game in the 7th
Matt-
inning, walks in and goes, "Hey, I'm useless. Don't count on me."
Well,
we
he
weren't
was
counting on you anyway.
starting the next. He wasn't starting.
He wasn't
for a couple-
starting,
He's a
he wasn't
starter.
playing.
Right, but he wasn't
He's
going to
not even going to be counted on anyway.
Well, I know, but you get a 16-inning game or something go crazy like that, and you have to get a guy to throw 1 inning. He's like, "Yeah, I ain't throwing 1 inning today, Skip. If I throw, all you got to do be
is
all Nuke LaRouche, I'm gonna hit the mascot kind of thing."
all you've got to do is show up that day.
Exactly.
But the other part is, and it's interesting of guys covering and the fans and the media and everything like that. Matt Harvey, the first couple years of his career, was going to be a stud, like every other New York Mets pitcher. And frankly, he hasn't.
No.
He's turned into an average guy, and I think that's hurting him more than if he was sitting there and he was a stud pitcher, and he went and did something like this. It gets it's okay.
I think they're sending a message. I mean, I even heard that on one of the shows this week after that came out. Was one of the things they were talking about, Scuttle, was that the Mets were going to send him to the minors to send a message, hey, you need to get your act together, because they can. He has less than 5 years service, so they can send him to the minors.
Which is interesting because and we've got all the leaders here, and I don't see his name, but I know he's having a pretty decent year. That's what the Dodgers did with Puig.
Mm-hmm.
And what's Puig doing now?
He's doing better. I haven't checked his stats, but I mean, he's come around.
A few months, a few weeks actually, probably not months, but a few weeks of riding the bus again.
Yeah.
You suddenly realize, oh, this is important.
I'm very fortunate to be in the big league.
That's right. And if you take it for granted, somebody else wants your shot, and you never know.
But he's in there. He's in the lineup.
Well, and that's the other thing. How many of these guys do you see? And if you've ever watched the ESPN, and I'm not a huge ESPN guy, but the Broke movie, where you got these guys who they were multi-millionaires, and now they're
Yeah, right.
How many of these guys take it for granted? Oh, the paycheck's always going to be there, or my talent's always going to be there. And one day, it's not.
You're right. Ryan Howard, gone.
Released yesterday.
Yeah. You don't last forever in this league. And so you better take advantage of every shot you got. Because either injury or time catches up with you one way or the other. And sooner or later, the game spits you out. The game tells you it's time for you to go, son. And very few people
Ryan Howard,
go out
interesting,
on their
because
own.
Ryan Howard was part of the Braves rebuilding process with Bartolo Colon and whatnot. And
Bartolo, I'm pitching batting practice Cologne last night. Good Lord.
did you see the record he set?
What, he gave up 8 runs in the first inning or whatever?
He went 16 years, and it's actually 5,800 and some odd days
right.
of not giving a home run to someone. And no one had ever done that. Given up home run, and then gone 16 years without giving up another home run to.
All right, because they played together. They played against each other when the manager pitched it. The manager took him deep.
Oh, he did too. No,
Yeah.
last night.
Carlos Beltran
took him deep. Carlos Beltran. He hit. It's interesting because Beltran hit a home run off him in '98. He hit another one in '99. He hit another one in 2001. And then over the last 16 years, what was it? 45 at bats without hitting a home run off Bartolo Colon.
And he got one last night.
And he got one last night, and it was
he got all of one last night.
The record, which is interesting about, you've got to obviously be a long time old timer,
right? You got to have 2 long timers.
You got to have 2 long timers. The record was 14 years and some days between 1988 when Barry Bonds took.
Do you know? I know.
Greg Maddux.
No.
1988. Jesse Orosco.
I would not have thought that.
And then didn't do it again until 2002.
Right. Yeah, but they were showing that, that Cologne gave up a home run, I think it was 15 years to the day yesterday, to the manager that he was now facing. Who played with Kansas City back in the day and took him deep.
I had, in different sport, but interesting, they were talking about Manu Ginobili's game last night when the Spurs beat the Rockets, and he says,
how'd that happen?
The beard, no. Name
Harden.
James
Harden got blocked.
James Harden got blocked, and James Harden was 10 years old when Ginobili got drafted. There were 4 guys on the Spurs bench
that
were 9 years old
when he first started.
When he first played his first game for the Spurs.
That's unbelievable.
And he's out there playing like, hey.
Yeah, he dunked it last night. He dunked one
at 39. He's not 89 years old.
No, he's 39, which might as well be 89 in NBA years.
He
wouldn't.
I'll tell you, of all coach, Pop isn't putting him out there because he
can still play.
He can still play.
But he got burned and he said so. He's like, he went right by me, and I was like, oh no, I got to do something. And so then I had a chance. And he said, probably shouldn't have done it, but I made the block.
You went for it.
I think that happens.
Yeah, age, and it's kind of neat and watching that kind of stuff. I actually was part of or in with the biggest age difference between 2 starters in World Series history.
Who was that?
There you go. And I was, and the fact I was there is a big hint.
The Marlins.
Game one of the '97 World Series. So that record, you know how long that record lasted? 5 games. Because a week later, the same 2 guys faced, and this time
they were older.
There was
a bigger gap. 5
but
days.
the gap was the same because they had each aged. So
5 days.
The record actually got tied because
Levon
and who pitched game 1 and 5 of the '97 World Series.
Who'd you even play in '97? I don't remember. Who'd they play? Who'd the Marlins play? Who'd the Marlins beat? Give me a hint.
You don't remember? The Cleveland Indians.
Cleveland Indians. Necro?
No.
Ah.
I want to say Jesse Orosco because he was with the Indians that time.
But he wasn't a starter.
Blyleven.
No. Largest age difference between two starting pitchers in a World Series game: Levon Hernandez and Oral Hershiser.
Hershiser.
The Bulldog.
I forgot Hershiser went to pitch in that series. Yeah.
And in another gap, the largest temperature difference between two games. Game 2
And Game 3.
Game 2 and Game 3,
Yeah.
it was something like 81 degrees and then 25 degrees.
And snow was
crazy.
Snow was that day. Hey, well, we also, before we get to this, we'll talk about this in the second half.
Sure.
We mentioned last week about the kid from here in Gainesville that's hurt.
Yeah.
Had Tommy John surgery and whether or not he was going to be drafted. I'll spend a few
Hunter
minutes
Ruth.
talking about that.
Hunter,
Yep.
Baseball America projected number 42 pick overall. What is that, a sandwich pick or right early second round, and they had him there and everything like that. Signed by the Florida Gators. But again, he'll be drafted in June, and then you wonder,
Is he going to go?
is he going to go, or is he going to go to Florida, or is he going to sign you go in the first or second round, you usually don't turn down a couple $1 million and everything.
And
but
if you're in the first round and you don't sign, what I've been told by several of my friends who are scouts is you might as well hand in your resignation letter because you're getting fired.
the scout is because he didn't
do his job.
He
right.
didn't do his job.
Right.
You got to signability is huge. Signability is every bit as important as velocity and
Right,
command
and who your potential agent's going to be.
Right. But again, so he winds up getting a tear in the ligament and just had Tommy John surgery last Tuesday. And now the question is, and no one's really, but I'm just kind of wondering is, it hurts his draft status, obviously. I mean, he's not going to be a first-round draft pick or anything like that. But is he still drafted? Of course.
Yeah.
Where does he draft? If you're the player, is it better for you to sign? If you're a team, do you want your doctors watching his rehab for the next year and possibly stealing a legit first-round pick who, after Tommy John, is going to be thrown probably harder, in 2 or 3 years? So is this an investment that a team's willing? If you're drafting a high school kid in the first 2 rounds, you're not looking at him into your rotation until
21,
4 or 5 years down the road.
Right.
So,
And do you think? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, part of the investment. Where does he fall?
Well, my question is this: in today's game, we talked about this off camera before. Was the max effort mentality of what the baseball pitching establishment has gone to? Tommy John surgery is almost a rite of passage now for a hard thrower, and most guys come back stronger. And the first guy I can think about is Strasburg, who came back. I mean, what do you think?
Jose Fernandez.
Do you think that this is really going to hurt him? I mean, I don't think him that bad.
I don't think it's going to hurt him in that sense. And whoever gets him, again, you get the right agent. They're going to say, yeah, you drafted him in the 6th round, but he was going to be a first-round draft pick. Mm-hmm. So you're going to pay him bonus money like a first-round draft pick. Or he's going to go to Florida for 3 years.
And again, where Florida, you're in a limited time crunch. And I mean, obviously he's got a scholarship there. He's already signed and everything like that. But he's not going to pitch next year. And then all of a sudden, the year after that, you're rehabbing and you're already in your 3rd year. If he throws well, he's eligible to be drafted after that year.
Right. But if you already have the commitment, if you're Coach O'Sullivan, you can't rescind the scholarship offer. Because,
and he's going there. But the question is,
and if I'm the kid, I'm not so sure that I don't want to go there. Because let's think about just for a minute. We're almost out of time. We can talk about it later if you want to. But what happened with Josh Hamilton? A can't-miss kid, a can't-miss prospect, got to the major leagues, went to camp, got hurt, injured, was on the DL, and during his time he was on the DL, started attending a tattoo parlor that then got him talking into guys that were doing drugs, and he started doing the drugs to help calm the pain, and then that started a downward spiral that lasted. If you're this kid, is it a better environment to be in Gainesville rehabbing with your family as opposed to being somewhere else wherever they're going to make you go to rehab?
And also with 18, 19, 20-year-olds as opposed to 21, 22, 23.
And with guys who have a lot of money. And you've got a lot of money in your hands and a lot of time on your hands.
And again, that's a decision that the family makes.
That's a decision the player will have to make in consultation with the family.
Right, and it is, but I'm just wondering where a major league team, and it'll be interesting because we'll know the answer to that
in a few weeks.
And
I think somebody will take. I think somebody will take him in the first 5 rounds, and they'll
think he'll go that quick.
I think he'll go that quick.
Still go that quick
because if he goes outside of round 5, he's going to sign and come here. And that's, if a team wants him, the team's not going to want him to come here. They're going to want him to do their own rehab. And in order to get that, he's
And
going
he
to have
did.
to go top
And
five.
it's interesting. High school kid. He still went to Birmingham. He still had Dr. Andrews perform
sure.
the surgery. You know,
Yeah, I'm sure you got in there with a little recommendation from some club
some club got him. You
who
know?
said, "Yeah, we'll get you in with Dr. Andrews." You know, or the Gators do that too. I mean, it's fairly common. So, hey, we're out of time for this segment. We'll be right back. Talk second part about more baseball and what's happening.